Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're on a really specific mission. We're going to explore how music works as this, I guess you could call it a perfect personalized memory machine.
Right. We're looking at the idea that a song isn't just sound, it's more like a postcard of a memory.
Or a stamp on our lives, something that just locks in all those little details from a specific moment.
It's an amazing phenomenon, really, because it's so universal. I mean, we all have those songs,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But the experience is also intensely personal. So our guide for this deep dive is a set of reflections that are all anchored by one song, Kenny Chesney's I Go Back.
Okay, so a song that's literally about other songs defining his life.
Exactly. We're using that as a springboard to understand how your own brain archives your personal history.
Right.
We've broken it down into three key scenes.
Right, so let's set this up. I Go Back is such a great starting point because it's so meta, isn't it? It's a song about songs.
Mm-hmm.
And that immediately gets you, the listener, thinking about your own soundtrack.
It really does. And we found this fascinating little piece from Chesney's audiobook, Heart Life Music.
Yeah.
He talks about this fear that songwriters have,
What's that?
that if they explain how a song was made, the writing desk they were at the studio, it'll somehow ruin the magic for the listener.
Yeah, I can see that. You'd think knowing the artist's story would kind of crowd out your own experience with it.
But it's actually the complete opposite. And this is so key to understanding that audience connection.
Okay.
When the artist tells you the backstory, it doesn't limit you. It validates your own deep reaction.
Ah, so it closes the distance.
It closes the distance,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like you're getting permission to hear more of your own history in that melody. It just makes that memory stamp even stronger.
And that connection can grow into a whole community, right? The reflection mentioned that they liked his music, but it was seeing him live.
At the Las Vegas Sphere, yeah.
Right, that's what made them feel like they really belonged. Thousands of people all singing the same words, feeling that same nostalgia.
And that's how fandom becomes No Shoes Nation.
For anyone who doesn't know, that's what his fans call themselves.
Right. It's not just a bunch of people who like the songs. It's a shared identity, a shared set of memories built around his music.
Okay, so let's use that framework. Let's travel back, scene by scene, using the songs he mentions.
Let's do it.
First stop, we're going way back to 1982, 7th grade, a tiny Catholic school about 40 miles north of New York City.
And the trigger song?
John Mellencamp's Jack and Diane. The reflection says it wasn't just a hit song. It was basically the soundtrack for that really awkward time, that mix of innocence and, curiosity.
It's the perfect song for that age.
Yeah.
It really did capture that feeling of small town life and just wanting to break free.
The detail here is just incredible. It was a really small class, the same 18 kids since kindergarten.
Wow.
So they were less like a class and more like an awkward
If
family.
I can picture it.
And this song with those lyrics, it felt so rebellious.
So the music becomes this shared secret.
Totally. They'd sit around whispering about the forbidden parts, trying to figure it all out.
What parts are we talking about?
Oh, you know. Lines like, let me do what I please. What does that really mean when you're 12?
Right.
And of course, the big one, hands between her knees. That line caused a lot of nervous giggling and speculation.
And that shared confusion, that trying to decode what the adults were talking about, that's what cements the memory.
Exactly. So this brings us to the science. Why is music such a powerful time machine? Because when that song plays today, it's not just the sound.
No, not at all. The reflection says it brings back the smell of the gym, the feel of their sneakers on the hallway floor, the actual visual of that tribe of friends.
See, why? Why the smell of the gym? That has nothing to do with the sound of the song.
That's the magic of how your brain is wired. It all comes down to neural real estate.
Neural real estate. I like that. Explain.
Okay, so the part of your brain that processes melody, the auditory cortex, it sits right next door to the parts that handle long-term emotion and memory.
The amygdala and the hippocampus.
That's them. They're neighbors. They're physically connected. So when you have a big emotional moment, all the data, the sound, the location, the smell, everything, it gets bundled together and filed away as one event.
And music is the key to that file.
It's the master key. It bypasses all the rational stuff and goes straight to that archived bundle. That's why the gym smell comes rushing back with the opening chords. It's a hardwired connection.
That makes so much sense. It's not an aid, it's a shortcut.
A neurological shortcut, exactly.
Okay, let's move forward 5 years. Scene 2. We're leaving childhood innocence behind and jumping into that first taste of freedom at college.
We're in 1987, freshman year, SUNY Cortland, third floor of a dorm called Randall Hall.
And the soundtrack this time is the Steve Miller Band's greatest hits. Specifically, Keep On Rockin' Me, Baby.
And this one's interesting because it wasn't love at first listen.
Not at all. The story goes that these girls down the hall just blasted that album every single afternoon. Around 3 p.m., door wide open.
So it was just noise. Annoying noise.
At first, yeah. Which raises a really good question, doesn't it? If the song started out as an annoyance, how does it become this powerful, positive memory?
You'd think it had to be a song you loved from the start.
Right.
But this is all about the power of routine and context. What started as annoying noise quickly became something else.
A tradition.
A fixed tradition.
Mm.
The reflection calls it the church bells back home. It was the predictable rhythm in a completely new and unpredictable life.
So it wasn't about the song itself, but the fact that it was always there.
Absolutely. That song became the backdrop for everything that first year. Late night pizza, finding new friends, dorm pranks. That feeling that the world is finally yours.
And that powerful transition combined with the routine of the song, that's what locked it in.
And you can see it in the trigger today. Hearing that song now doesn't just bring back the melody. It brings back the sound of that stereo down the hall, the image of that specific dorm hallway.
And that crisp fall air coming through the window. It's the perfect example of how background noise becomes a meaningful ritual.
It proves a song doesn't have to be your favorite to become a memory stamp. It just needs to be there when your brain is mapping a new chapter of your life.
Okay, on to scene 3. And this one, as the reflection says, hits different. It carries a lot more emotional weight. We're talking about Billy Joel's Only the Good Die Young.
And the context here starts very local.
Very local. Billy Joel had a deep connection to the hometown, Highland Falls. He even wrote a song about it, so the whole town kind of adopted him. There was this real sense of ownership over his music.
Which just amplifies the personal memory.
It really does. This memory is about one specific moment. In the kitchen, the song comes on the radio.
And it's so vivid, the parents just start dancing.
Yeah. Spinning around on the linoleum floor, laughing like they were teenagers. It was goofy, offbeat, but just pure joy, that kind of uninhibited happiness that only happens in your own kitchen when the music is a little too loud.
You can almost see the sunlight coming through the window.
Exactly, a moment frozen in time.
Yeah.
But here's where the gravity comes in. The writer only had a few more years with their mother before she passed away from cancer.
And that's where the music's job changes. It's not just nostalgia anymore. It's preservation.
Yes, that initial moment was pure joy. But now, when that song plays, it carries the weight of everything that came after.
The song becomes a doorway.
A doorway. That's the perfect word. It lets the speaker step right back into that specific moment, the sunlight, the laughter, the linoleum floor, long after that reality is gone.
So we went from this broad idea in a Kenny Chesney song to these incredibly detailed personal scenes.
And it all points to the same core finding, right? Music is this profound memory technology. It doesn't just capture emotion, it captures high-definition sensory data.
Which brings us to the application of all this. How do we take this knowledge and use it intentionally?
Specifically for something like exercise, for physical leisure.
Right. The idea is to move beyond just generic party anthems, to motivate you during a workout.
And instead, you build playlists with songs that mean something to you personally. Songs that connect the physical work to a memory or a story.
And when you do that, it completely changes the experience. It's not just a task anymore. It's a meaningful experience. It makes the effort feel purposeful, not like drudgery.
Which is why using a song like I Go Back is such a brilliant, if unexpected, starting point for a workout.
It's not a high-energy pump-up song.
No, it's meant to take you somewhere internal, somewhere personal. It makes the ride an experience, not just exercise.
And that leads to this concept of a themed routine, a songs about songs ride.
You'd start with I Go Back.
And then you build the whole set list around the songs it mentions. Jack and Diane, Keep On Rockin' Me, Baby. Only the Good Die Young.
So you're literally weaving music history and neuroscience and your own personal history into the physical movement itself.
Yes. You're giving your brain these powerful prompts that go way beyond just pushing pedals. It creates a whole narrative arc for the workout.
And it proves that when the music connects that deeply to memory, the effort just builds. It stops feeling like effort. It becomes something else entirely.
Something profound.
So, to wrap this all up, we started with a Kenny Chesney song, but we really ended up with a blueprint for human memory. Music isn't background noise.
Not at all. It's a highly sophisticated cognitive tool that locks in the finest details, the smells, the floors, the light from the most important moments of our lives.
This deep dive turned a simple song into a really detailed lesson in personal history for us.
And that's the real power here. So here's the final thought for you to take away.
Mm.
If weaving your personal memory and music into a simple physical routine can make it feel like something that lasts,
Mm-hmm.
then what about the rest of your day? Think about the songs that are playing in your life right now. Are you being conscious of the memory stamps you're creating today? Because those are the doorways your future self is going to walk through.